our attitude shifted, and what a different season it's been for him.
Yeah.
And I would say, even to what you said, we had to learn it. That book that we were talking about really opened our eyes on what pressure we put on our kids that is unhealthy.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Okay, baby, we're back.
We're back.
We were just wrapping up talking about sports and philosophy and really promoting the book, Changing the Game, because it's so powerful. But let's talk a little bit now about, on this episode, about how we have to manage expectations and train our kids about responsibility around sports. You know, one, you got to have philosophy about what you want your kids to get out of sports, so that way it always guides the conversations you're having around it. Number two, you have to decide, what is the most important thing in your family and in your household, and then what sports can you that makes sense to fit in to the bigger picture, if you will.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, I know for us and everyone, you're listening to this, fit it into your life. But like we're saying sports right now. That's just because the season we're in. We've been in seasons where it's been dance or there's been gymnastics or there's been, plays that they want to be in.
Any extracurricular activities.
That's. I just want you to know. It's like we're kind of using
They
the
could
word.
be on the debate team. They
Yes,
could be whatever.
you got it. We've had all kinds of, or serves, even the serves that we've done.
Church serves.
Yes, or all
Which is a real
activities we're talking about that you allow your kids and yourself to, absorb into. It's prioritizing things, and does it fit into what your family needs and wants and the desires of your hearts, and how do you make it all work?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so for us personally, again, some people will be like, well, it's easier for you because you homeschool, right? Versus kids go to school from, 7 to 2:30, right? And it is easier and it's not easier, to be honest with you. We've done both. I think we've talked about that before. Our kids originally were in a Montessori program until about third grade. And then after that, we went homeschool after that. So we've kind of done both. And when they were in the Montessori, they were very much still in activities at the time, gymnastics, the whole 9 yards, dance, and stuff like that. So for us, a lot of it is, again, we are really big on communication with our kids. If I can say anything, number one, Greg and I communicate first. We figure out what's going on, what activities sound good for the season. And just because we do it for 1 year doesn't mean we're going to do it necessarily next year. I mean, we have to communicate and figure it out. Things change, life changes, even the desires of their activities change, what they want to do. I mean, we had a situation with that last year where one of our kids, was very involved in running for a couple of years, and she did phenomenal. And then the last year, she just didn't seem interested at all. And, it was obvious from her, work habit that she wasn't that interested in it. So it's time to change, right? And so we're not those people that just say, once you start something, you have to do it for the rest of your life. You do have to finish the season, but we will tell you there has been exceptions to even that because, I think we talked about track and field, the last one. The very first track and field events, we noticed very quickly, this is not what we thought. And so we had to change our game plan. Greg and I took it on our shoulders, contacted the coaches, explained the situation that it actually wasn't what we thought, not our kids' fault, but we're going to have to pull out of this now before the whole season goes on and we're miserable. So some of the things we do is we communicate together. We know how important it is for you and I to be on the same page. And that doesn't even mean that we always agree with each other. We come to an agreement, but that doesn't mean we always agree with each other. There's been times when sometimes I'm like, I really feel like we should still do this. Or you're like, I don't think so, or vice versa, but we come to an agreement together. And then after that, we talk to our kids about it. And we talk to them about their expectations. If we do enroll you in this, what would this look like? How will you get done what you need to get done during the day to make sure that you can attend and be the best version of yourself at this? And if they can't, prove that to us, then we don't need to be doing the activity.
Yeah, you set up the expectation. It's like, okay, you're gonna get house chores done. You're gonna get your
Homework, of
schoolwork
course.
done diligently and successfully. You're gonna be able to do all the different roles that we have within a busy household of 8. We're still going to be able to support each other in different endeavors and different things. And the reality is, this is going to be a lift, you know. So it's going to be practices, you know, couple 2-3 hours a night. It's going to be games. You know, sometimes these practices might be at 6 a.m. So around all of this stuff that's going to be added in, you have to figure out how to still get everything else done, or you're not doing the sport.
Correct.
Right? This is not the priority.
We were just discussing yesterday with tennis.
Yeah, this is not the priority, but it is
A priority.
It will be a priority, and also on top of that, you know, if you're gonna be in this sport, then we want you to do what we want you to learn, which is we want you to learn work ethic. We want you to try hard. We want you to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But we want you to develop. We want you to grow through this.
Yes.
And so you grow through things by putting yourself out there and trying to win. We're not freaking out if you don't win, right? But we want to know, like, we're celebrating your effort. Let's just put it that way. And so it's important. So that way, if you go out there and you're being lazy and laying an egg, then we're done. Like we're not doing it anymore. You know, we're gonna choose a different sport or no sport because you're not learning anything we want you to learn.
In fact, you might be going backward.
Yeah. And so anyways, that's been our conversation lately. And
I think it's huge. An example of that is even for our Drews, you know, so he loves basketball. He absolutely loves basketball. He's very good at basketball.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of natural talent, but he also has to work on some skills.
Well, sure. I mean, to try to play at the level that he's being put in the position of, everybody else is showing up with a high level skill.
And in the past, some of the teams he's been on, he's been natural, like, skills have been able to get him.
Yeah, I mean, he can walk on any court at a small school and he can be the star. Right. Without really a lot of off-court effort, you know. But now we're in a 6A program, and he's got kids, you know, elbowing him in the face, and you know,
he broke half his tooth off.
They're spending hours every night with dribbling drills, and they're in every camp you can think of, and you know what I mean. So it's like you gotta pick up your game here, you know. But anyway, so go ahead.
And so just to say, the example for him was, we have frogs in our throat. I don't know what's going on here. But anyways, why do they say frogs in the throat? But anyways,
stay focused here, squirrel. Gosh.
But with that, he, you know, we've been trying out and doing the stuff here. And I will tell you, I think it was really frustrating for him at first when he didn't, what was it, last year, make the A team for basketball. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think we hadn't read this book either. And we hadn't really understand some of the philosophies. I think we were disappointed. We were like, what is the deal here?
It was getting to me. And so then you start kind of getting a little negative about it almost, you know, about this experience. And you can really start blaming the coaches. And there was a lot of politics going on, of course, but you can kind of get consumed with it a little bit.
And we started talking to the kids about it too.
Yeah. And then even the kids were getting consumed with it. And they're starting to feel like they're victims now instead of just outwork it. And so it was a learning lesson for us, you know, because I was starting to feel like it was a little bit of a failure. And am I feeling, do I need to push him a little bit harder? You know, do I be on him? And I was at times, right? And, but then I kind of started seeing his light go down a little bit about his love for the sport. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not what I want. So then I just started kind of backing off of that and just having conversations with him and just letting him go back to having fun and letting him be the star of the B team for a bit and let him just like get his, you know, let him make the choice. That if you want to go to the next level, then you will, you know? And so it was a good learning season for us, for sure. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think for sure. Absolutely. And the point was then, you know, he played on the B team and stuff, and he has had the best time. Like, I will just tell you, every time he goes to one of his games, he's like, Mom, I'm going to get 20 points today.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm going to pass to a lot of guys and help them do well.
Yeah.
Mom, did you see me get that assist? Mom, did you see? And he gets in the car and he's happy. You know what I mean? And I think to myself, I'm like, he's having so much fun in 8th grade. Like that, it's like, it feels right to support that instead of making it all about like, you better win. That's all that matters type thing. Yeah. And how does he have confidence then?
Yeah.
How do and it's not like he doesn't have enough pressure. He knows. He gathers it. But it's like our attitude shifted, and what a different season it's been for him.
Yeah. It has been.
I mean, and I would say even to what you said, we had to learn it. That book that we were talking about really opened our eyes on what pressure we put on our kids. That is unhealthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really is. Like it really does kind of call you out in a really good way.
Yeah, and up. We got to go up.
It's very well communicated, and it really hits on what does happen and all the pressure. And now it's like you can see it across the stands.
I know.
With parents, and I'm like, whoa, wow, this is like a real thing, And anyways, back to the responsibility part. So, here all of our kids are, they're having to navigate. I kind of enjoy this to a certain extent because this is part of the life lesson. Like, for instance, everybody's trying, all of our oldest 5, and even Hunter's starting to learn too, because, she's 7 and she's just a rock star. But they're all like in tennis mode. Drews is still playing basketball. Bella's just ended. So they're all in like tennis mode. And tennis mode basically means you have about 3 to 4 weeks of trying to practice and get your skill set up as much as you can before tryouts happen. And when tryouts happen, it's probably going to be a tournament. And if you win in the tournament, then you're going to be on varsity. And if you don't, you're not going to be.
Nope.
And it's a different world being on JV at our high school than it is on varsity. They put all the energy, all the coaching to varsity. It is the place you want to be. And last year, the Twins didn't make it, and it really hurt, And so this year, you can see, like, we're telling them, whatever you make, it's going to be okay. Yeah. But they're like, oh, let's go. Let's do this. So now they're in almost every day finding a way to go practice. But with that now, okay, so you committed to that, right? You committed to this goal. It's one of our goals we set of getting on the varsity team. So now what's the action steps? And it's like, well, I got to put a certain amount of hours in every day. We agreed on our end, we'll actually pay for some skill training for you like twice a week. And it's not cheap. It's $125 a time. It's $1,000 a month just for some side training, for our size family. And so we're all in this, but then, you still have to do everything else. You still have to do all the chores. You still have to, and guess what? You're going to get tired. And you're going to have days you don't feel like it, but we committed to it. So now let's follow through on it. And you don't get to just say, I don't feel like it one day, right? And so there's this whole navigating, all right, I signed up for the big dream and the big goal, but now, and so just this is such a life lesson for everybody. Everybody is professional starters.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You want to know what even the term entrepreneur means? Professional starter.
It's true.
Right? But can you show me the people who are successful entrepreneurs? Yes. Those are the people that can stick it out in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's a long game.
The beginning is fun and it's exciting. The middle is hard, right? And the end is always fun because that's where all the results and accolades come up. But the middle is the part where character is built, and you got to step in. And right now I feel like they're kind of getting in the middle of this journey of even being, and now think about even with this, now Jerus is trying to double down. So he has to do practices still for basketball and games, and he has tennis, and it's a lot, but we committed to it. And so like, what are some of the things you're doing with Jerus now? Because there's been a couple times where he had to get up in the morning and be able to go to practice at 6:30, and he hasn't actually been having his alarm go off. So how are we handling it?
Yeah, I mean, it's, just like every parent, you're ready to go. You want to take your kid. You don't want them to miss playing in the first half of the game because he doesn't make it to practice. So the last couple of weeks, typically I make Abby and Bella drive him, to his practice at 6:30 in the morning.
That's so nice, isn't it?
It is very nice. And they're great drivers. It's been very nice for us. I usually make them. But I was going to be awake the other day. And so I was like, I'll be up. I'll take him today. You guys just pick him up at 8, right? Well, I woke up and he was nowhere to be found. And I'm looking around and I'm like, did I get the time wrong? I look around, I'm like, no, he's just not here. So I run down and I get him, and I'm like, Drews, we got to leave in 15 minutes. What's up? You told me you were going to be up here at 5:30 a.m. to eat, and it's 6. Like, what's happening? He's like, oh my gosh, my alarm. And I'm like, okay. So I take him. Thank goodness I actually didn't know this had happened before, because I probably would have had a lot to say that morning. So I take him. He's like, thanks, Mom. We get him there. We live literally 5 minutes from the middle school. So he made it in plenty of time. And he got there. But moral of the story was I got home and the girls were like, oh, how'd it go taking Drew's? And I'm like, well, he actually didn't wake up on time. I had to go get him. And Abby was like, Mom, that happened 2 more times last week. What? And she's like, yeah, something about his alarm clock not going off. And I was like, okay. So, this isn't like punishment. This isn't like a long drawn out conversation. I simply said to him, I said, so, hey, buddy, I understand this has happened now 3 times. 3 times is enough. 1 time was enough, but we gave you 3 times. Here's the thing. From now on, if you're not waking up the girls by 5:45, they're not taking you. And you can send a letter to your coach, explain to him that you missed because you slept in.
Right. So now we put the responsibility fully on him.
But real quick, I just want to say, but you're not allowed at 6 to bolt up. They don't get up that quick. They need 30 minutes to wake up, get ready. You can, if it's past 5:45, no more. Like, you can't come at 6:05 and be like, we can make it.
Yeah.
It's 5:40. Let's make it clear. And he was like, okay. So I go, I don't know what you need to do for an alarm clock, but you need to figure this out.
Yeah. So the whole point is we are now putting responsibility on him by allowing him to make a choice.
That's right.
That's the key in this.
Yep.
It's something that we've just learned about this season of parenting with our teenagers is like we have to put them in positions where they get to make choices and they either get the rewards from the choices or the consequences from them.
That's right.
So now, because it's not up to us, meaning whoever's taken him to get him up, it's up to him. So now we sleep until he wakes us up.
Right.
And so if your choices don't figure out how to make an alarm clock work, this is a life skill you have to figure out. Right. If you can't figure that out, then we're all sleeping in. But you also are going to have a conversation with your coach and to tell him the truth.
Right.
You're going to tell him you couldn't manage yourself well enough with an alarm clock, and whatever repercussions come from that, you get benched for 2 games, that's going to be you sitting on the bench thinking about it.
Right.
Right. And it's going to be okay.
And we're not mad about it.
We're not mad, but you get to make the choice. Now, if you get up in time, you'll never miss practice.
We're all ready to go.
You'll be a starter all the time.
That's
and
right.
It'll be great. And this kind of stuff, though, is so...
Makes a difference in your life.
It makes such a difference. They really, really do learn. They're really learning things that I didn't even learn until I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? Because most of the way I was raised was like, you're gonna get up and go, right? Like it was like almost like you're either gonna do it or else.
A fear, yeah.
Versus you get to make a choice.
Well, and the neat thing about it is not getting upset about it. If I give any advice, is like literally, I'm not upset.
Yeah.
You're not upset. So if he's like, well, I'm not going to start on Wednesday at the game, be like, no problem, buddy. I'm going to get some work done then. If you're going to sit the bench, we'll drop you off.
And a lot of that comes from backing up with our philosophy
That's right.
of we know why you're in sports. And so this helps actually accomplish what we want
That's
in
right.
this journey of sports versus we're trying to push so you can get a scholarship or something.
Yeah.
Because that could mess things up like that.
Or get on the next club sport or whatever the case may be.
Oh, good stuff, babe.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.